So, Kemi Baynock held a press conference yesterday. I want to be clear before we get into it that most of what happened there was genuinely moving because she had brought together a group of bereaved parents, people who had lost their children's social media harms, to blackmail, to dangerous online challenges, and to be groomed and murdered. These are real people with real stories, and the weight of what they went through is not something you can mock. But Kemi herself, well, Kemi's fair game. And by the end of this, you'll understand why. So the pitch was simple enough. Labour is dithering on the social media ban for under 16s. Starmer has actually cited his own kids as enjoying social media as a reason to hesitate, which is an extraordinary thing to say out loud as a Prime Minister. And Kemi spotted the gap. She's planted her flag and she said that we need a complete ban. And honestly, the parents making the case were very compelling. One mum described how she tried to get her dead son's data from TikTok and they pretty much stonewalled her for 2 years. Another was talking about how her boy was given 50 days to complete challenges by online predators or they'll kill his family. These are not abstract harms, these are real things that are happening to real children. And the cumulative effect of sitting through all this is by the time that Kemi starts talking policy, you're pretty much ready to agree with whatever she says. Then a journalist asked about technology in school, iPads, homework, that kind of thing, and whether the same logic applies to social media should apply to like e-tech as well. Kemi goes off on a bit of a tangent, and as Kemi does. And in the middle of this tangent, she mentions that she recently let her 9-year-old son play Roblox.
I think Roblox is a very interesting example because it doesn't call itself social media. I recently allowed my 9-year-old son to get Roblox. I am now fighting to get him off it. Absolutely. And one of the things that I had to close down was chats coming in, which I didn't realize were part of Roblox. And there's still ways, despite me shutting it down, the chats still keep appearing. And he now knows that this is a problem. So right now he has been banned from Roblox, not thanking me for it.
Now, she's the leader of the Conservative Party. She's just spent the better part of half an hour, 40 minutes, telling the country why parents could not be expected to manage this alone, and that the platforms are too powerful, that children are being harmed at scale, and that the state needs to step in. And somewhere between organising this press conference, inviting the bereaved parents, writing the speeches, and doing a media prep, nobody thought to check whether she'd recently handed her primary school-aged child one of the most controversial platforms on the internet. It's the kind of thing that would be funny in a sitcom and somehow even funnier in real life. But it gets better because that's not the end of the Roblox story. The press conference keeps going and more questions and more answers. Then right near the end, one of the bereaved fathers, George, whose son Christopher was murdered by online predators, goes slightly off script.
You mentioned earlier on, who was it that mentioned Roblox?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Vile.
Yeah, so I need to make it very clear, Roblox is the most dangerous game to be played by any human being, let alone a child. And second comes Fortnite and Minecraft. I'm sorry, but I have to say that. So kids should not be on it at all under any circumstances. And yeah, and that's where it does feed in from these games that children sit there playing online with people they don't know. Just like you wouldn't speak to a stranger in the street, why should you be speaking to a stranger while you're playing an online game? But what do children know? Their brains are like sponges. They have got no idea what's going on, and they absorb everything that comes their way. And then this is what happens. And it's very sad, but let's hope that we could make changes, at least as from now on.
Now, Kemi, to her credit, she does not visibly combust, because she's already told everyone at this press conference that she lets her 9-year-old son play Roblox and is fighting to get him off it. And she has to just sit there and absorb it. There is a version where you possibly could feel sorry for her. I mean, after all, it's her press conference. And now she's already admitted to everyone that she's given one of the most prolific games for online predators to her son. But there is also another layer to this. The Conservative Party has built its entire political identity for decades around getting the state out of people's lives. Trust the market, let the business self-regulate, don't have government telling people how to raise their children. And now the leader of that party is calling for the state to ban a product for a specific group of people based on age, which might be the right thing to do. I'm generally not going to sit here and tell you the ban is wrong, but it's fundamentally a paternal position. And paternalism is supposed to be what the Tories are against. They are constantly going against what they call the nanny state. And Kemi knows this, which is why she keeps reaching for this line.
That is easier than policing the content. Let's have the freedom for adults. Freedom is not for children. First, freedom, we believe in freedom for adults. Let us protect children.
And it does some work, but it also opens a door that she doesn't seem to want to walk through, which is fine, but where does that principle stop? I mean, she's not asked, and she's not going to ask herself, because the honest answer has nothing to do with conservative philosophy. And this is where it gets uncomfortable for those parents, because they're not naive. They said themselves multiple times that it's not political, and they don't care which party does it, they just want children protected.
And hand it back to the children, if they can make it safe, then I think we should do that. And I think all of us wholeheartedly agree that it is not safe, and you're going to end up with more parents in our position.
Right, thank you, Lisa.
Yeah, I'd just like to say as well, this isn't political. This needs to be a cross-party, and no way should our children be the pawns of this. Children are dying every day. It's a crisis. It's global, and it has to stop now. So everyone needs to come together. These platforms need to. If it's not fit for purpose, it shouldn't be here.
They've had to bury their children, but they're not in that room because they like Kemi Badenoch. They're there because she offered them a platform, and they'll take any platform they can get. But Kemi is there for a different reason, which is that Starmer left that gap and she's walked straight into it. It's pure opportunism politics. It might not survive contact with government. It might get quietly shelved when the tech company lobbyists come calling with their projections and their lawyers and their arguments about enforcement. And those parents will still be bereaved, and they'll still be waiting. That's what it makes the Roblox moment more than just kind of funny. It's a small window into how seriously she's taking this. She's been thinking about the ban long enough to hold a press conference about it, just apparently not long enough to get her 9-year-old son off Roblox first. She closes the press conference by saying with a straight face that she believes in limited government. And so 20 minutes after calling for a state ban on a product for every child in the country under 16, she undermines her entire press conference with this line.
Government cannot do everything. I'm somebody who believes in limited government. Let government do what it can do. Government needs to tackle the tech companies. It's way too much for parents. What I don't want to see is the government mandated play schemes of how many hours you need to spend in the playground, like they did with the toothbrushing thing with teachers. I think that's far too much. What I want to see is us starting from first principles. We saw what happened with the Online Safety Act, all sorts of rules and things impossible to do.